Hi guys, it's time for a happy ending, Gamehound style. Gamehound staff is not responsible for anything that your kids might hear. Hello everyone, welcome to Happy Endings episode 8. It is noon, therefore we are here on Spreaker. Glad to have you with us. Nobody in the chat room yet, but that will change. So,
what are you doing, Dave?
Oh man.
So I just got off the phone with Best Buy and I swapped my order over to ship to me just to be safe.
All
I
right.
tried the chat room and they were like, "Yeah, well, you might have to call customer service." So I called customer service. I actually got right through to people. And the lady's like, "I can't do it. It's not letting me change it." She goes, "Maybe try back in a couple of days, blah, blah, blah." I'm like, "Well, what if I were to just cancel and order again, brand new, and then have it shipped to me?" He goes, "Well, I wouldn't want you to lose your, in case we run out." So I said, "Well, why have you on the phone? Why don't you go ahead and place another one for me, see if it's in stock, ship it to me, and then we'll cancel the first one." And so that's what she did.
Cool.
And they were, I got to say, she was very nice. She's like, "I apologize. I'm sorry. We can't figure it out. My supervisor can't figure it out." I was like, "No problems, just don't want to stand in line at the store, even if I got to wait a couple extra days." So,
yeah, lines suck.
Yeah, just no need for that. I mean, not at my age. If I was your age, Nick, yeah.
No, at my age, lines still suck. My bones are too brittle to be standing up for that long. I just can't take it.
Oh my god. So what's new with the? We talked about so much stuff on the regular Gamehound show. More about, of course, the Xbox One versus the PlayStation 4. About how Peter Moore says that no, they were not in on the plan. No, they did not aggressively, quote unquote, aggressively lobby Xbox to put in the DRM and the check-in and control the used games and rentals. So yeah. What you guys been doing this week other than the E3? What non-gaming stuff? Of course, we got to talk about Game of Thrones.
Yeah, when the chat room comes in, we'll talk.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Game of Thrones.
Season finale.
Season finale was anticlimactic after the Red Wedding. They're still talking about Red Wedding. I was listening to NPR and there was a whole show on unhappy endings, which was really, really interesting about when a television show betrayed you. And people are calling it about how when on MASH, when the Colonel Blake died, not Colonel Blake, the guy before him. Oh, I can't remember his name. Was it Blake? Yeah, it was Colonel Blake. When he dies and how people were never quite the same after that. It wrecked them. And times when television shows had betrayed them. So Red Wedding is still having its reverberations through the whole thing. Boy.
Yeah, I wouldn't consider that a betrayal. I don't think a TV show can betray you.
Well, they betray you because they don't.
Stupid word.
There's no happy ending when something bad happens.
That's narrative. That's conflict. That's usually good writing.
Yes, that's exactly what they said. That's what good writing is.
Granted, I haven't seen much of MASH, but isn't that what MASH did well? Is balancing like the horrors of war with the slapstick comedy?
Mm-hmm. Well, sort of. I think that people expect television shows, especially because they're escapism, to be different than real life. And there was a woman who actually
some shows like that, but not a lot nowadays. Pretty much every new show I see coming out is one that's very heavily focused on drama.
Mm-hmm.
Unless it's like just a cop show.
Yeah, I remember one woman was called up and she said that she and her boyfriend both watched Game of Thrones, the Red Wedding, and that she thought it was awesome because it opens up the whole thing. It makes you realize that the whole thing is open and anyone can die. And he hated it because he doesn't want that to be the case. He wanted it to be, I know what's going to happen, and I have to have something that I'm going to believe in when I watch television show. I have to believe that this is a story where the people I like are going to survive and to triumph. And when they fail, it's like too much like real life. So,
yeah, how do you add guys to the call? I'm trying to add Stormtrooper Ray
if
here.
you go on your Skype page where you see Holy Goalie, Nick DiNicola, or E Sellers, and Nick DiNicola, and they're under at the very bottom. It'll be the add, send, and share. It's the little speaking bubble with a plus on it.
Add people to call.
And then you can pull them up from your thing. So we're going to have Stormtrooper Ray joining us in just a moment.
Giving him a jingle here to see what his thoughts on everything was, because I think he's an Xbox One guy. Although when I called Best Buy, I just switched over my PS4 to ship to me. The lady was saying people are ordering both, pre-ordering both.
Yeah,
and
it doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, it's because the Xbox is not going to fail, Edie.
Yeah,
I don't think it'll sell as much, but it's not going to fail.
We'll see. We'll see.
It didn't go through.
So we got Jason Webb, Corey Wallace, P1553ED. I've imagined that's pissed.
Oh.
In the chat room.
Why is he pissed?
I don't know. Some people are just perpetually pissed. Some people do that.
What?
Do that well. My dad did pissed way better than he did anything else.
Why are you pissed?
So
no need to be pissed.
Look at you. Aw, when did you become little soft kitty boy?
I need to be scratched.
Oh, I'm not on my Spreaker yet. I got to do that, don't I? So I can chat. I have to go into my Spreaker. I forgot.
Yeah. Let's see. Hey, chat room, since we got you up here, what's on your mind? What are you guys thinking about E3? And not necessarily, can you have a thought about E3 that is not related to the PS4 or the Xbox One?
Well, no, because most of the games are showing off for PS1, Xbox
right, but
One.
not about the console war.
Okay,
that's beyond
about the games.
And wow, talk about like Game of Thrones bringing it into the gaming thing. Did you see the picture where they showed the big auditorium, like a whole picture of the auditorium before the Xbox presentation, and somebody put underneath the captioned it and said what was the name of that song that was played during
Reigns of Castamere?
Yeah, Reigns of Castamere starts to play.
You know what's really cool about Game of Thrones? The fact that now the Red Wedding has become this kind of meme.
Right. And
it's now this catch-all phrase for a bad event.
Right. The something when you just got your shit handed to you, that's your Red Wedding. Yeah, I think that's going to last for a really long time.
Okay, wait. I'm also curious. This is completely devoid of games. Where does that term Red Wedding come from? Was that like the name of the chapter, or what?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Because that wasn't the name of the song. That wasn't the name of the episode.
No.
I was wondering, it has to stem from something in the book, but I'm wondering.
No, the Red Wedding really doesn't get caught in the book. I don't know exactly where the Red Wedding
is it just
comes from.
A community label?
Community label. The X-Bone, like the X-Bone. It just kind of happened.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Corey Wallace wants to know what good swag is out at the conference. I have seen, what was it? There's an E3 exclusive figurine that I'm not familiar with. It has to do with some game that's showing up on eBay for $300.
What?
Joystick? Was it Joystick?
Well,
When I saw it, I have to look it up. The E3 hub. Stand by, looking for it. No.
Ooh, I just saw news on GameSpot that says the new Mirror's Edge is open world.
What?
An open world action adventure game.
Well, I think
that makes
everything.
sense.
Open world is another one of those buzzwords that's happening because of the fact that you got
Well, yeah, but I'm
bigger
just saying,
processors.
take the Mirror's Edge design philosophy, and it was very much about this linear path. It was like a racing game almost.
Mm-hmm.
And having it be open world, that's a very different design philosophy. Interesting, though. That's almost... I'm not sure how I feel about that.
Still looking for what that figurine. I have not heard. Oh, there we go. Skylander, E3 Skylander.
Yeah, well, of course, those action figures, because that's what the game is all about.
Right,
Yeah.
and apparently there is a hot dog Skylander figurine that is extremely rare and a must for Skylander fans and collectors. It's Color Shift Hot Dog from Activision and only available at this year's Entertainment Expo, E3 Entertainment Expo, and it is going for $300
You know what?
on eBay.
Saying Color Shift Hot Dog suddenly makes me realize how stupid I must have sounded talking about Pokemon. Talking about, I got my Pikachu and I'm gonna fight the I can't remember anything else. The Charizard. Oh my god.
Yeah, but that's okay, Nick. It's you.
Yeah.
Color Shift Hot Dog. Does
we all
that go
go
right
through-
up there with the upgraded windmill?
Upgraded women, I know.
Oh, Color Shift Hot
Hey,
Dog.
Stone Trooper Ray.
I don't know.
you
I don't
here?
want my hot dog to change colors. That would be.
I don't know. It'd be kind of
I am
cool.
here.
Hey,
Oh,
Stormtrooper Ray.
great.
Hey,
So,
How's it going?
Stormtrooper Ray, what are you thinking about this mess?
I've only caught part of this, so what's the mess we're talking
Oh,
about?
well, actually, we were just talking about hot dogs, but now we're actually wanted your opinion on the
Color
Xbox
changing hot
One
dog.
versus the PS4.
I'm really on the fence right now, and that's big coming from me because I'm all Xbox. Didn't like the PS1 was okay. PS2 I played on a little bit. Did not even get a PS3, but I am considering the PS4.
Yeah. See, that's why I think it's the Xbox One is going to fail, because when you take
it's not
hardcore
gonna
fanboys,
Fail.
well,
Fail-
do you
Big
consider
fail.
Wii U failure at this point?
Yes.
Okay,
Well,
then yes, it's
okay,
going to fail.
it's a failure in the mass market, but it's not a failure for Nintendo because Nintendo still makes enough to stay in business.
Mm-hmm.
The Xbox, regardless of what happens, is not going to sell so poorly that the Xbox division gets shut down. That will
Maybe
never
not
happen.
the Xbox division shut down, but I think that I always forget his name. What's his
Don
name? Don
Patrick?
Matrick's going to lose his job.
I don't know.
Who's the other PlayStation or Xbox One dude?
I forget. Don't they? It's like this incestuous CEO relationship between all those companies.
Yeah.
So I'm in the same boat as Stormtrooper Ray here because as I didn't have a PS3, I think I had a PS1. I didn't have PS2. I played PS2, and I went to Xbox before I went to PlayStation 2. Love my Xbox and my Xbox 360. Just not feeling the love with Xbox One. Is that what you're feeling, Ray?
Well, it's the big deciding factor is going to be how the PlayStation controllers fit in my hand.
They're going to be
unfortunately-
weird. It's going to be weird. It's going to be weird. Just get over that. But that's how I felt when I jumped over from the PS2 to the Xbox. But it didn't take long for you to get used to it. You just have to commit yourself to, okay, this
I
is
don't
going to
know.
feel weird for a little while.
The extension,
most-
the extended times I've played with the PS3 controller, like Uncharted, has left me feeling my hands feeling really cramped. I don't like the PS3 controller.
I don't either.
Mm.
It just
But I
needs to have more
think-
girth to it.
Yeah, and I looking at the PS4 controller, it looks like the handles are much bigger,
Yes.
and so that gives me hope.
Yeah, I was just looking at a video that was posted about the use of the PlayStation Eye, and I did notice that it seems to be a heftier. And in the chat room, we have Tanya who said, so you all ordered the PS4 first. Well, except for Stormtrooper Ray. Yeah, we all ordered the PS4. I did. Piss Boy ordered 2.
Although, you know what? The one bad thing is that you can't change your username for PSN. You have to make a whole new account in order to change your name. So my account is not Alsop Live, and it's like, oh man, that will be getting
That's hard.
used to, like getting a new name.
Yeah.
It's like, oh,
Yeah, it's hard. Tanya says she pre-ordered 2 Xbox Ones
why do you pre-order 2?
so you can sell one.
Don't be those people.
We're seriously considering ordering another one just so we can sell it. Seriously,
Oh my
how can
God.
I possibly give up that much money? Because it's
Because-
going to be that situation.
Because the PS3 gray market was not that big.
No,
But the Xbox was.
and the Wii was.
The Wii is the one that got people thinking, oh, this is a great way to make money. But it wasn't quite that bad with the PS3. It wasn't bad at all with the Wii U. I think Microsoft and Sony will pump out as many of these consoles as they can. I don't think there will be a good gray market. Yeah. I think you will sell that thing for like $10 more than the MSRP.
It would be hilarious if that was the case, wouldn't it be? All these people that are ordering all these extra ones trying to make money, and there's plenty in the store.
Right.
Exactly.
Well, and that's my one concern, is that they might not do that. And the reason why they might not is if they were issuing these new consoles in different years or significantly different from each other, I would say, yeah, it's probably a pretty good deal, so you could sell one. But
yeah, that's right. Like, who would buy an Xbox for $1,000 when you get a PS4 for $400, and who would buy a PS4 for $800 when you can get an Xbox for
only if both of them are not available? But when some mommy and daddy's walking into the store and there's the PS3 or PS4 and it's on the shelf and the Xbox is not, or vice versa, you're going to pick up the one that's on the shelf.
Well, see, but if neither of them are on the shelf, then they'll just get the kids a Wii U, and the kid will have a terrible Christmas.
Mm-hmm. Tanya says one is for me and one is for my son. We don't like to share.
Okay.
Well,
that's
yeah,
good.
I'm the same.
That's cool. That's
cool.
cool.
You got to have two. One for you, either one for the spouse or one for the kid.
Yeah.
So you can both play together. That's half the fun, is playing these things together.
Yeah, yeah.
Corey Wallace says, if Microsoft goes bankrupt, will a Mac Apple rule the world? No, there's a big difference. One is the Xbox division, and one is the rest of it. The rest of it, the computer division, is doing just fine. It's not going to go anywhere, and it has enough money in it to kind of absorb any a significant hit to the Xbox division. But it could mean the end of the division. I'm not entirely sure that would happen, but because there is that amount of cash that's there to kind of take the brunt. It's not like Nintendo, where if Nintendo's Wii U doesn't sell, Nintendo's fucked, because that's what only thing it does.
Not really, because they also got 3DS, and 3DS is doing pretty good.
True, but yeah, as long as you've got enough money to weather the storm of what it costs to develop, and then it doesn't sell, then you're fine. Game companies, studios are like that. If you've got all your eggs in one basket, you're a lot more susceptible to that kind of devastation. Mm-hmm. So, and Microsoft's not going to go out of business, but I think that there are going to be a major shakeup by the end of the year, if not sure. Actually, I predict by this time next year, there are going to be at least one, possibly as many as 3 or 4 Xbox, not Microsoft, but Xbox executives who are no longer working in their current positions.
Not by the end of the year. That's
no.
Way
I said
too
by
soon.
this time next year.
Oh,
because
was that right?
I think they're going to rebound. I think they just need to make a few changes, and they're banking on the whole motion thing taking off. And if that does take off with people, then they're going to just keep on top of the industry.
I don't think it will take off.
I don't think it will take off. If they thought it was going to take off, they'd show it more at the Xbox thing.
The thing about the Wii, someone said this like a long time ago, and it was really, really true, about how the Wii didn't sell like a game console. It sold like a toy, where it's this huge, incredible, burst of attention. Everyone tries to buy it, and then it drops off like a rock. It's a toy. It's a fad. And it did exactly that. Mm-hmm. And that always struck me as like, wow, that was really, really, forward-looking. That really predicted the future. And so I don't think motion controls are like the future of anything. But I do think voice controls are. I think voice control with TV that deal with Kinect, that is genuinely intuitive and futuristic and really, really smart.
Yeah,
that is one of the reasons that they would force the Kinect to be included. That's a good reason.
Yeah, I agree with that, and that's what I was referring to when I said the whole motion, and sound. I should have been more clear on that. But I do like the idea of swiping things on the screen with the Kinect, and I have done that with mine. It's not going to be a big change for me. My Xbox is always online. My Kinect sensor is always connected. So the only thing that I really see impacting me is the used games and lending games out, and that's even a minor impact.
And the thing is, I completely sympathize with that, because when I think about it practically, most of the restrictions that they talk about are not going to affect me. It's mainly more of a principled response more than a practical one.
Pissed says Destiny looks cool, has a Borderlands feel to it in some ways, and that's the first thing you said.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, like the whole first-person loot.
Yeah, and the fact that I really like the fact that there's public events that get launched as you're playing the game, so that other players that are also playing the game are alerted to your public event and can jump in and help. That's awesome. But I anticipate that happening for, Destiny's obviously that's a PS4 exclusive, right?
No, it's just next gen.
Okay. So I honestly see that for both consoles, but that comes with the processor. That comes with the ability for the box to actually process more information faster.
Yeah.
Which I'm really excited. As much as we have been focusing on this console war, I am really, really excited for the industry in general, that both of these consoles have such capabilities that the developers are really, really exploiting. Like, everything's going to be open world. That's going to be that's the buzzword. And multiplayer, and not just multiplayer, but MMO, persistent worlds.
Well,
that's really exciting.
It's kind of exciting, but also I don't want everything to be open world. I don't want everything to be an MMO. There are other types of games you can make, and that's also kind of why I like Titanfall, because it looked like a twist on something that was still very familiar.
Mm-hmm.
And what I really liked about stuff like Watch Dogs and The Crew and other things is that it looked like an MMO. It looked like a small MMO. It's not World of Warcraft where it doesn't end. It's just a normal game with a normal progression, but with these kind of MMO elements.
We really should start abandoning the idea of MMO and really attach that to things like World of Warcraft and PlanetSide and things like that, where it is a massive multiplayer online. And more adopt the idea for consoles that they're MMOs. They're multiplayer online, but not massive.
Yeah, I agree.
And that the line between single player and multiplayer is completely blurred. That you're not going to have a single, like when you go out of your single player game to go into a lobby for multiplayer, create a party, and then launch it, and it's a different experience. Mm-hmm. That there is a fluid experience between multiplayer and single player. And that was demonstrated a number of times in a number of different games that I saw on Monday. And that's exciting.
I hope that doesn't mean people are just going to ignore single-player modes in games.
I don't think there is going to be a single-player mode in games. That's the thing.
Yeah, no, that's bullshit.
You just launched the game. And
Thief is a single-player game.
Okay,
XCOM Declassified is a single-player game.
Right, and the games are going to be either single-player or multiplayer. They're not going to be, it's a single-player game with a multiplayer mode.
But see, the problem I have with the idea of, it's not either, it's both, it's 2 in 1, is that usually means one of them gets half-assed.
Well,
like
you're still looking at it as two different things. The thing is, it's one game. Well, it's one game. There is only one game inside the box, and that there are other people that are also playing that game.
There's one game, but there's two aspects to it, and usually you get a sense like Dead Space. You know, you could play Dead Space 1 through the campaign by yourself. You could play through the whole thing co-op. Like, it supported this drop-in, drop-out co-op. You know, one game that could be played two different ways. But it was clearly designed for co-op to the point where it sucked playing by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope that doesn't apply to these other games, where if you're playing with people, it's great, but if you're not, then it sucks. It's a miserable experience because it was designed for one way, not both.
Yeah, that's true. Dead Island was kind of like that. That it was, if you played it multiplayer, it was fun-ish.
It was fun because it was janky.
But it was, if you tried to play it, and I tried to play it alone, and it's like you got to a point where it's like, can't play it alone.
Did you always wonder?
I have to open this up to some jackass who's going to wander off.
if Spreaker could handle, here's one thing I was wondering if Spreaker could handle. You have all those receivers and crap at your house, Edie. Mm-hmm. If we ever got into another Dead Island night, if you could pump the audio into the computer through Spreaker, and we could have the whole Xbox party chat room while we play Dead Island going on Spreaker. So it'd be an audio version of the video. That's
what the whole share button, and that's the one thing that I'm kind of a little the one thing about Xbox One that's making me kind of think of the fact that you can stream on Twitch TV your audio. That I know that you can stream on Ustream, but are you just streaming the game and the game sounds, or are you streaming audio. Your chat? Because that was the first thing I thought with the Xbox One. And the one thing that it's like, wow, I really like that, and I really, really want that, is that you could essentially do Dead Island and post it to Twitch TV, and people can just jump in and watch us play and listen to us play, as opposed to just the game. That's I don't know if you could Spreaker in, if it would be even remotely interesting, because when you don't see the visuals, it makes it hard to appreciate what's happening.
Yeah, something else that my friend told me from GameStop last night. He said the reason Xbox is asking you to check in every 24 hours is because there's going to be so many updates, because the cloud is going to be a huge part of these games going forward. And he said even with PlayStation too. So he says, it's not so much to check in on the DRM as it is to check in for all the updates for the game, because the cloud is going to be a huge part of this.
Well, that's what they said. That's the part that really hit home of why they're doing this check. Well, it's not why they're doing this checking in for DRM, but the upside of it, it was pointed out during the NBA 2K NBA. Sorry, not 2K. EA NBA Live, NBA 14 Live, that the stats and the methods of play and the ways that people are playing are going to be updated hourly. So
except the thing is, you don't need to acquire a connection to do that. Like with PS3, if you have PS Plus, you can turn on automatic updates, which is whenever there's an update for the console, it automatically downloads it.
Right.
Like, you don't need a constant online connection requirement to have those kind of automatic updates.
And realistically, who doesn't have their Xbox hooked up to the internet?
Nobody. Well, a lot of people do. Not us. Not anybody in this room.
Yeah.
But, right.
And I have
any hardcore gamer is going to have it hooked up to the internet all the time.
Right.
But the issue being is that if for some reason Xbox Live is down, or the internet's down, or say your router goes down, I mean, there's going to be these odd times. And to say that you can't play because you're not connected to the internet, that is a very unsettling feeling. Mm-hmm. To know that you have all these games and this and that, and if something's going on the internet, you can't play, and it's out of your control. It's out of your control at that point. So, how many times have I played with it not connected? A few, because there's been times I can't connect to Xbox Live, or there's a big storm in the area and my internet's out. You're right, Ray. It's not often, and we're all here. We're all connected.
I mean, I've never had it happen where the internet went out on me and I didn't have it fixed within a day.
Right, but also remember that you're only looking at it from one end, that you are connected and your internet's connected. But just because you're connected and your internet's connected doesn't necessarily mean that their servers are connected. And we've all seen multiple situations where they say, don't worry, we have the capacity to handle it. It's not going to be a problem.
Every time there's a Battlefield launch.
Right.
In fact, I'll bet you that when Battlefield 4 comes out, the first day the multiplayer servers will be fucked.
Yes.
Because it always happens.
Yes. Every time that there is a Call of Duty or a Modern Warfare or a Battlefield launch, that shuts down their servers. Or it makes them run so unbelievably slow that you have to wait a day for something to be a map pack to be uploaded.
So what really stink with that is if the servers are getting jammed because of Battlefield, then all of a sudden you say, okay, well, I want to play Thief. Well, you can't, because we can't authenticate you because our servers are booked.
No, is it going to be the same servers, though?
But they are, because they'll be
I don't
using
know.
the Microsoft servers. Well, maybe they won't be. Like, then that's the
They
thing.
might check a totally separate set of servers.
Yeah, and that would be smart of them. But I think overall the problem with that is that it's not so much, oh, you have to check in online every day, and that's tough. It's just the idea of the box is going to be turned off. You can't play games if you can't check in after a day. Like the fact that I'm buying a game console and the game console will become inactive if some random thing happens, that just seems really bad. Like, why would I buy something that will purposely gimp itself in a bad situation?
Mm-hmm.
Why can't you make something that just works?
Right. If at the very least it makes me know that I'm not going to buy Xbox One on launch day, because I don't know how it's going to work, and I'm not really interested in paying $100 more for a console that won't let me, with enough things I don't like about it that makes me leery on top of it. And then the giant question mark is, how is it going to work? Whereas I have every confidence that the PlayStation 4, the day it comes out, I will plug it in and I will be able to play a game.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't have that confidence with Xbox One because of the way their infrastructure is set up.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It probably will be fine. We'll probably all be okay, and we won't have any hiccups. But there is that thing, and then on top of it, that whole Connect thing. Like, I'm trying to figure out where I would put that upstairs, for the wife to play without it looking big and gaudy and in the way. You know what I mean?
I have it on top of the television set.
Yeah,
it doesn't really stand out. It doesn't.
Yeah,
mine's
I think about 6 inches above it on a small shelf.
Yeah, it doesn't really stand out. It's kind of innocuous.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not completely, not gonna do Xbox. That there's still a chance I could cancel the PS4 and go to Xbox if some things change, or maybe at launch, like I say, PS4 falls on its face and Xbox is a wonderful thing. But again, for to buy two of them, I got to buy two of them. That's $1,000 right there. So it'll be a bit. I was kind of hoping not to get either one and see which way it shaked out. But the peer pressure of everybody going to PS4 and me sitting there going, you guys want to play Dead Island on Xbox 360? No, dude, we're playing PS4.
Yeah, and honestly, there's not an appreciation of what the power of peer pressure. The thing that has kept me from going over to PS3, even though in some ways I do like my PS3 better than my Xbox 360, is that those times that I've played games on the PS3, I've had to make a conscious decision not to be in communication with my friends.
Mm-hmm.
And it's an active decision I have to make because my friends are all on Xbox 360. And if all my friends move over to PS4...
I know, that's the thing. It's like, what do you do?
Right.
Jason Webb was over here saying that he's down in Australia. And he says that there's 10 large cities that have some internet, but the rest of the country is the internet's not good. And he says there's a lot of people that live in the bush with shitty satellite internet, and Xbox.
Oh God, satellite internet.
Yeah. Yep. Everything is not the United States. Everything is not big cities.
Yeah, and
that's what's interesting. It's like the Xbox is specifically targeting a niche audience.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Speaking of satellite internet and things like that, I don't know if I mentioned this, but the Bruins were playing a playoff game the other night, and we had a huge storm here, and all the direct TVs went out because of the storm. And bar rooms, people were leaving bar rooms in groves to find a place that had a cable TV in it, not direct TV. It was weird. In fact, it was one friend of mine told me he was at a bar restaurant, is what they are, and he said they actually switched over to the antenna to try to pick it up, because I think it was on CBS or NBC it was, and they could pick it up with the antenna. It was all fuzzy and blurry.
But people put up with it because it's the only thing.
That's the only thing they could watch, is because the direct TV went down. It was down for a while too, because this storm came in. It was huge.
And
I mean, I've had direct TV for over 15 years, and the odds of that happening, I mean, maybe once or twice a year I lose my picture for 10 or 15 minutes. I don't think I've lost it ever anything longer than that. Maybe during a snowstorm, a real bad blizzard. But other than that, DirecTV's been pretty good for me.
Yeah, I have DirecTV. Same thing. Always been good for me with it. Like I said, a couple of exceptions where we've had some kind of issues. But it does kind of point out that, using to an analogy to this console war, maybe the best thing that Xbox One may very well be the best thing that ever happened to Steam. Because if the Xbox One doesn't work perfectly day one, or does have major outages during high impact times like the release of map packs or release of games or DLC, what's everybody going to do if your console goes out?
Probably buy a PS3.
No, they're going to run out and buy a PS3 that day. What are you going to do that day? If it goes out on that day and you can't play anything, you're going to play Steam.
Yeah.
Yep. You would say, what do you do? What would you do if your console broke right now? Like in the middle, it's 7 o'clock at night, 9 o'clock at night. You come home, you had dinner, you sit down to play something. It's like, oh, fuck, Xbox isn't working. Well, Steam, I guess. I'll go over and play my Steam account.
I guess I have 3 Xboxes, so I just go to a different Xbox.
Yeah, I've got an Xbox and PS3, so I just go, okay, I'll switch to the other one.
All right, well, assume that, say, Xbox systems, their servers are down. That's what I had to do when that stupid fucking Black Ops map pack came out, and I couldn't undo things on my family plan and couldn't get out of my family plan because everything was jammed up and I couldn't update and separate and do what I needed to do to get that family plan taken off before I bought a whole new amount, a whole new family plan membership. Because I didn't want to continue that bullshit. Fuck no. So, I went to Steam until the servers got unborked. So
really?
Yeah, had to. No other. What else was I going to do? It was either that or work, and I wasn't about to do that. Jason Webb says, does Microsoft's close relationship with the worst company in America also sour the deal for you guys as well? No, not at all.
Yeah, no, I don't see a problem with that. EA is going to do everything for all the consoles because I was honestly shocked that Titanfall was an Xbox exclusive because EA doesn't do exclusives.
Yeah.
When they bought BioWare, they made Mass Effect multi-platform.
Yeah.
It used to be an exclusive.
Are we sure that it is an exclusive or a timed exclusive?
That's the thing. I think they said at some point, like, porting it would, one of those is not out of the question. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I have a feeling it's going to be a timed exclusive, or at least that possibility is written into their agreement contract. I'm assuming that their agreement is more than just a handshake. But no, EA is the big daddy of most of the great games out there, a vast majority of the great games. So
yeah, I liked a lot of the stuff I saw at the EA conference, and they got rid of the online pass. That makes me like them more.
And that interview with Peter Moore is very interesting about that too.
They get rid of that though because of all the stuff going on with the Xbox One, the DRM, and the checking in and used games.
That's not what Peter Moore said. He said specifically,
and also, it wouldn't make sense to do that with the PlayStation not doing anything.
Right. Let me pull back that thing, and we only kind of talked about this briefly in one part of that real quick interview that Colin Campbell from Polygon did with Peter Moore. But he kind of really pressed him. It was a really good interview. Where did he say about? You have the online pass and now it's gone. The view is that you made that call because either the online pass was commercially marginal or you've got something else waiting to take its place. We canceled online pass. I was at the meeting. It just wasn't resonating with the consumer. It just wasn't consumer friendly. It was hard work, and it was as much work for the guy who would never trade his game in, even though we gave him some digital content, because you're punching numbers in. We just made a decision. I was the chair of the meeting. We said enough of online pass. Not saying, it was an Austin Powers type meeting of Dr. Evil saying, and he puts his pinky finger on his eye tooth. We know we can get it back down the road. No, it was not that. That was not the meeting I was in. Online Pass was more trouble to the consumer than it was worth. It was a mistake. The consumer's feedback was that this thing gets in the way of a good experience, so let's get rid of it.
You know what? And looking back, I'll bet that they made that decision because they were nominated Worst Company in America.
You think so?
I think so. I think that showed that kind of backlash.
2 years in a row, by the way.
Yes, like that kind of backlash made them think, okay, obviously we're doing something that pisses people off. How do we redeem our image?
Really? You honestly think that they care about their image that much?
Yeah.
Really?
Maybe. I don't know. It's hard to say.
I think there's more of a chance that that's why they did it than because of the Xbox One policy.
Did they announce the getting rid of the online pass before? They did announce that before the Xbox thing.
Yeah.
But they...
And it's sort of unfortunate timing that they announced that and people were like, oh, hey, hooray. And then Xbox One announced this stuff and people were like, oh, fuck EA. They only did it because of this.
Right. It may be that it was coincidence. I don't know. Oh, hey, in fact, I was just thinking about this because I was looking at the Polygon picture and they had an ad over in the sidebar. The same day that we had all of our press conferences, Apple had its big press conference. It's going to have external controller support for both the iPad and the iPhone. Is the next generation. It's going to have it. Sorry, it's the next iOS. So you're going to be able...
What controller?
I'm assuming for third-party controllers. So remember that, what was it? What was the name? The Moga controller? And they said you can use it for everything except iPads and iPhones because they are weird about that and they won't let external controllers be on their devices. Yeah. This next one is going to have external controllers because Apple doesn't make controllers. It doesn't want to be in the controller business.
It doesn't want to be in the games business.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't ever. It's never made its own peripherals. It always says, "Here's the capability. All you peripheral guys, go crazy." And that's exactly what they're doing. Is they're like, "Okay, peripheral guys, go nuts." So I'm kind of excited. I like that idea because, I had that. They gave us that little Moga Mini controller. And I can't use it on anything because I don't have an Android. Everything is iPhone here. So it's kind of cool.
Cool.
And especially with so many of these new games coming in that are connecting to your tablets, like Battlefield and Watch Dogs. And there was, I think, The Crew also had an iPad or a mobile app.
I know the Division did.
Yeah, so all of these things really are making it more worthwhile for Apple to be part of this because now there's enough games, a whole section of the electronics world that's kind of devoting itself to integrating your tablets with your games. And if they are left out of this tablets with games idea, then they're going to miss out on an opportunity, and Apple doesn't like to miss out on that, even though they don't like to be in the game business.
Hey, who brought this up on Facebook? But it was a great point. Where is the DLC for BioShock Infinite?
Oh, I can't remember who brought it up. Yeah.
It's like, you're right.
It was on Twitter. They brought it up on Twitter.
Was that a month ago that we were going over that ending? And then here we are, what we were talking about what they would have for DLC. Maybe that's a joke on us. Yeah. Maybe the joke on us is DLC.
No, I think I heard that they started working on the DLC like after the game shipped, so we probably won't see it
for a little bit.
Yeah. I imagine it'll come out before the fall, maybe in the next couple months. But yeah, if I bought that season pass, I'd probably be kind of upset.
Yeah, I would be too. In fact, I think my reply was, it took the wrong lighthouse and that your future self has it, and it got it 2 weeks ago, so pipe down.
Yeah, I didn't know what you meant by that at all.
Because you didn't understand the end. Nick got it. Your future self got it 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
Yeah, thank you.
Actually, I'm just laughing because I want to fit in.
See, peer pressure. It's powerful, powerful stuff. Andy Shaw says we would all be ex-box fans.
Oh.
Boom, boom. I have to start loading a rim shot into the.
You can add those things in before you set it up.
I know. I have to do it before I set it up. I just haven't done it. I just don't think about it. I just want to get on air. I want to finish watching my episode of 30 Rock and then get on air. I'm so bummed 30 Rock's ending. God, it's such a funny show.
I thought it ended.
Is it already ended? I haven't watched the new season.
I have no idea.
Is anybody interested in the Ouya at all?
Not after I read the reviews.
Really? I haven't read any of the reviews.
They weren't very good.
Really?
They were actually really bad.
You know, I kind of didn't want to say anything, but when it comes to brand new technology and new devices, being outside of E3 is kind of the kiss of death. Do you know the only other big thing where it was like everybody was really excited about it and then they hung out in front of E3? You remember that? Remember who that was?
No.
OnLive.
Ah.
OnLive hung out in front of E3 and had their own little thing kind of just outside. Actually, they were on the corner, the curb. And I thought, that's kind of weird that they wouldn't go inside. And
you know what? OnLive would have succeeded if they had better management.
Yes.
From what it sounds like with that one article about it, is that their CEO was real arrogant and like purposely did not do good deals because
he thought he was smarter.
Reasons.
Yeah, he thought he was so damn smart. Anybody, Ray, you interested in the Ouya at all?
I haven't read much on it yet.
Okay. What have you read as far as? Because I didn't read any of the reviews. What are you hearing, Nick?
Oh, I'm trying to remember. Just that, like, the interface was really bad. The games were like, hey, these are fun for 5 minutes, but why I have no desire to play any of these for more than 5 minutes. And that, like, okay, he could hack it to, do all the cool open source stuff because, it's not a closed system, but that was really crazy unintuitive, even more so than he thought it would be. And it's like, if this is a big selling point, being able to hack it and jailbreak it and stuff like that, it's way harder for a casual person to do that. Like, you really have to know.
You have to be a coder.
Tech stuff. Yeah. And he's like, so that doesn't make any sense. And yeah, a whole bunch of stuff like that. But, on the plus side, they did say that they would come out with like a new Ouya every year, like the iPhone?
Yeah.
iPad?
Yeah,
something like
both.
that. So, they have room to grow.
Yeah, I don't... Here's the deal about hacking, guys, and maybe it's just me and being bitter because I'm not a coder, but I don't see why hacking something should be user intuitive. The definition of hacking is you have to fucking know code to hack it. Why should hacking have a hack tool? If you want to learn how to hack something, go out and fucking learn how to code.
Well, if one of the selling points of the system is, hey, you can hack this to do all sorts of stuff that we didn't intend, if you're selling that, if that's one of the reasons that you would want to buy this, you would hope that it'd be a little intuitive.
I would know. I would not. I think it says exactly what it is you can hack it. And to me, hacking is we will let you have access to the code, and if you understand the code, then you get to hack it. It's kind of like WordPress. WordPress is easy to use, but I can't design my own entirely new style sheet. I can't actually write a whole new template or build a website from scratch unless I understand how to write in WordPress. Go learn how to write. So what if they said it's called Code Academy. Go to Code Academy.
Jailbreaking's more user-friendly.
Jailbreaking should be more user-friendly, but jailbreaking is not hacking.
No.
There's a very big difference. Hacking means I get to hack it. You shouldn't... Go watch Code Academy and go learn something. It's kind of like saying make your own adventure books are really great unless you don't know how to read. Well, yeah, you need to be able to read it. How okay? Is that so much to ask? Jason Webb says if you know how to hack, you could build your own Ouya. True, but no, we don't have to. It's the Arduino. Does anybody complain that the Arduino is not user-friendly? No.
I don't know what Arduino is.
Yay, I'm king nerd for the day. An Arduino is essentially a mini computer, a teeny tiny mini super small computer that you can teach to do anything, and it's used for a fuck ton, a lot of very, very fucking cool stuff. But nobody gets an Arduino and says, okay, I should be able to just press a button and it all works. No, it's an Arduino. You got to learn how to program it. And if you don't know how to program it, you go learn how to program it. There's sites where it's like, how do I get my Arduino to do this? And you go learn. Cut and paste.
Piss Boy said it was Yager that was talking about Bioshock Infinite. And I don't want to bring up any names, but somebody who took a shot at us about game night, how we're all done by 10:30, 11 o'clock Western time. Dude, I don't know, where you are in the world, but I was up till 12:30, 1 o'clock playing, and then that's when I go to beddy bye. And if you want to start your gaming at 11:30 West time, go right ahead. But don't give us crap that we finished up around 10:30, because we normally start our Saturday night game night, which has actually been quite the thing the last couple of weeks. It's been a lot of fun. We usually kick it off 9 on the east and 6 on the west, because that's about a fair time. Because we like to get 2 to 3 hours in, so that means I got to be up till midnight or so playing. But then the West Coast guys have to come in a little early and start playing at 6. So that's the only way it really works. So if you're unhappy that we were done by 10:30, 11 Pacific time, don't know what to tell you, man. Don't know what to tell you. And I hope we do it again this week. Someone was saying we should do Borderlands 2 this Saturday night.
Yeah, that might be fun. Well,
Oh, wow.
Guys, remember that the last couple of nights has just been us, which has been awesome. I'm not going to complain about that. We've had a lot of good time. But if you ever want to get a hold of us, and it may be that you don't know what our gamer tags are, my gamer tag is Gamer Edie. That's spelled EDIE, all one word, Gamer Edie. Nick's is Alsop Live, ALSOP space LAVE, and Holy Goalies is Holy space Goalie. Please get a hold of us. Add us to your friends list. We usually say right here what our game of the weekend is going to be, and we will all be on. Just add us, because we were on Battlefield Bad Company 2 the other night, and we ended up playing the whole thing on Onslaught, because we didn't have any people that wanted to play in a whole room with us, and I didn't really feel like playing open multiplayer. And Onslaught was fun. Don't get me wrong. I love Onslaught. But if we want to have larger groups, you need to add us on your Xbox friends list and join us.
Still on Xbox.
While we're still
add us now.
You got only a few months left. Do it now. Actually, that's not true. 360. I'm going to keep my 360 and still play my 360. Probably play a lot of it.
Yeah.
So
yes, I'll be playing that for a long time. I don't plan on giving up on that. I still may cancel the PS4.
I may actually get another 360.
I'm thinking about
take Don Matrick's advice that I don't want to be in it to be online. So if I don't want to be online, we have a device for that. It's called the 360. We'll find out. Actually,
they do have that new model 360. Didn't they announce that?
Yeah, the new model 360 that's smaller, faster, stronger. I may get that because mine is really getting old and clunky.
Mine is too. Hey, does any of you guys have the PlayStation Vita?
No.
Mm-mm. I was looking into that. I didn't know what the difference is. How do you play games on that? Because I was talking about memory sticks and, I don't know. How do you play games on it? Do you insert a cartridge? Do you download something?
Downloadable only.
Yeah.
So what happens? So if the games are, if you only get 1 or 2 games on a memory stick, you got to keep getting different memory sticks?
You do. And that's one of the messed up things about the Vita is that the memory sticks are fucking expensive.
Mm-hmm. Dog agrees.
Yep.
Well, I'm looking at this 8 gigabyte memory card for $22. And I don't know how many games that would fit, but if you're talking adding $22 or $10 to every game you buy.
All right. I honestly don't know, but I would say no matter what you do for the Vita, hold off until Black Friday, because they usually have a Vita sale on Black Friday. They had one last year.
They did have that really good Assassin's Creed one. I was tempted, but
Yeah, apparently, I guess Piss Boy was really on the bubble about getting a Vita, and then decided not to at the last minute because it's like, I really don't have anything that talks to it. Now, next year, that may be a different scenario. That may be a different case. That if I have a PS4 and I'm going to commit myself to being PlayStation for the next generation, then yeah, the Vita actually makes a little bit more sense than anything else, and I probably would end up using it. So, so anything else that anybody's doing, gaming or non-related gaming? That you know what I didn't do? God damn it! Fuck! I forgot to do the Bucker Chuck.
Oh,
yeah. We'll get the B and C's back next week.
Yeah, that's all right. Well, I'll just give you a preview because it's hilarious. Oh my god, I found one last night that had me laughing. It's so hard to look at it. So you'll get the Bucker Chuck on Spreaker before anybody else does next week. It's something called Mount Your Friends. It's on Xbox Live, and it's hard to describe. It's kind of a puzzle game, sort of. Essentially, you are a wrestler, and it's like they're not rag dolls, but like paper doll type, or puppets, where the arms are jointed and the knees are jointed and the hips are jointed, and I'm just gonna leave it at that. That what other part of the anatomy of these wrestlers are also jointed and swing around. But if you have small children, I would highly recommend that you do not bring that up on the screen while they're there because it's hilarious. But your job is to, using the four controllers, the four buttons denote your left arm, left leg, right arm, right leg. And you have to essentially crawl and use physics to have your wrestler assume a position that gets him at a certain height. And then somebody else will come and try to crawl up that person and get to the separate heights. And it is a multiplayer. And there is, I guess, a competitive part to it. I did not buy it. I may just buy it anyway, especially if one of you guys buys it. It's hilarious. Essentially, the point is to stack these wrestlers as high as you can go in a certain amount of time. At least the mode that was available in the trial. 80 points. Funny. And you know what? Super fun. It's really, really awkward at the beginning. You slowly start to get the hang of it, and it gets easier and easier and easier, but still challenging because, of course, you're dealing with physics, so every time you do it, it's a little bit different. But it's crazy fun. So mount your friends. Big, huge buck.
Pissboy is saying something about mount the goat.
You have to mount a goat. Yes, that's exactly what he is. Your first challenge is you have to mount a goat. There's a goat standing there, and you essentially have to crawl yourself over there. You want to walk, but you can't walk because you're essentially a rag doll, and you're trying to get the rag doll to move by moving its arms or legs. And then you get on the goat and stand on the goat. And then when you get to stand on the goat, then it drops another wrestler in, and then the wrestler kind of walks/crawls over to the goat and crawls up the side of the goat and the guy standing on the goat to get one person higher. It's super, super fun. And it's I'll just say that the opening screen, the loading screen, or actually what the title screen, is one of the more difficult things to look at. I'll just leave it at that.
Worse than Nick's profile picture?
Oh, yes.
You
know what?
Wow.
I think you all need to download the trial, if only just to see the title screen.
I might have to check it out.
It's hilarious. No, Jason Webb says, is it Connect? No, it's not Connect. He also says that Grand Theft Auto comes out on September 17th, which is his birthday. That's a very nice birthday present.
Hey, Battlefield 4 is going to be on 360, right?
I'm pretty sure. Yes.
Yes.
So I might have to buy that for both if I get the PS4, huh?
Why?
Because I'm going to want to play it.
Oh, on 360. I'm sorry. I'm thinking Xbox One. question. It's a good question. I may have
Yeah,
to.
it depends on like who you want to play with.
That's why I didn't want to.
That kind of makes an interesting situation of when you have it for old console and new console.
Because that's what I did with the Ghost Recon. Is I got it for the original Xbox, and then I actually got it again for the Xbox 360 because they made it for both. And now I'm like, that's why I didn't want to pre-order it, because there's still some life in my 360, and I don't want to push that off to the side because I want to do GTA 5. I want to do the Splinter Cell. I want to do Battlefield that comes out. There's still some games coming out that I'm excited for.
I wonder how much, especially Battlefield, is going to be gimped for the 360.
Well, I think it'll probably look as good as Battlefield 3. You know, it'll have 32 players instead of 64.
Right.
Yeah,
you probably aren't going to have connectivity to the tablets, so you won't have Commander.
Oh yeah, what did that do? I forget.
He could
Overwatch.
call in strikes, airstrikes, and mortar strikes.
Is that it?
I'm sure there's other stuff, but that he can see the entire battle, so that he can instruct and tell squads to go particular places, so that he can coordinate the squads. He did call in. Remember, he called in the missile strike.
Yeah.
To get rid of the helicopter, the tanks. There was a clusterfuck of tanks down below.
So the commander mode's only for tablet users.
Commander mode is, I think, only for tablet
I
users.
think so, yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure. I guess all these tablet use are going to be app-based, that you buy the app or you get the app. I'm assuming they're probably going to make, there's a small amount, like, $5, to buy the app to be a commander so that you could play from work.
Imagine this is an app.
I like being commander.
You like being commanded, yes?
Either way. They need a new cowboy game.
Well, there's always Guns and Noses, except it sucked.
What?
Yeah.
Guns and Noses? I reviewed it last week. It was a Buck or Chuck, and it was a Chuck.
Wait, there was that Call of Warriors Gunslinger on the downloadable game that I heard a lot of good things about.
Yeah, I didn't get it. I thought about it, didn't get it.
Hey, did you guys hear that Aliens Colonial Marines is coming to PS4 and Xbox One?
No.
So starting that rumor. And the graphics are going to be just as bad.
Well, the graphics will look better. They'll look like 360 games.
Genius. Oh, I know I've told both of you, but we didn't talk about it on the show. Maybe we did. I think I did actually with you, with Goalie, about how Wikipedia got hacked. Not hacked, but people were adding stuff onto their Wikipedia entries about burn centers and Jack Trenton murdering the Xbox One. I haven't heard anything more of that. But there is a lot of stuff out there rolling around. God, the Twitterverse is so active right now about all of the stuff going on with the console war. All right, well, it is 1:00. I have to go because I got to take a shower because I have to meet people today. I'm going to meet up with a WordPress god. I'm paying her $110 for 1 hour of her time to sit down with me and show me how to fix my site.
Well, there's no small talk there.
Yeah. You better record it. Get a video camera. Record that hour.
No, I don't need to record that.
Do you get a happy ending with that at the end of the hour?
No, I do not get a happy ending with that.
For $110, you don't get a happy ending?
No. The happy ending is we will have, in theory, depending on how well this works, how much I get done in this hour, we could have forums up within the end of the week. Like real honest-to-God forums. So I expect to see all of you guys. I expect to see Corey. I expect to see Jason. I expect to see Andy. And we are soon to start actually having real forums so we can go in and have real discussions instead of trying to tweet and Facebook back and forth, which is, it's all right. But it's not like having a long forum discussion. So we're going to launch that crap as
because
fast
not
as we
everybody
can.
wants to be on Facebook, so that's fine.
Right.
Jeez, for $110 though, I'd be telling her, lady, you better be double clicking my mouse at the end of this.
No, I would never say that to her. No, she's awesome. Really super sweet girl. It's a actually these are the same people that I go to every Friday for an hour for free, and it's just a workshop where everybody gets, like, if you need a quick hit, like, I can't figure out how to fix this, they'll put you in with someone and they'll show you how to fix it. But if you want to actually sit down and have something big, like my website's fucked up, then you pay somebody and for an hour, and I got the best person. There's other people, they charge less, but I got the very, very, very super awesome best person, and she's going to sit down with me, and it's going to hopefully get at least a good section of the way through what I need to do to get the website fixed and very much more dynamic than what it is now. So I'm excited. Jason Webb wants to know how my arm is going. I am very close to being kicked off disability, which means that my arm is awesome. I can get my arm behind my head. I can get it behind my back mostly. Not enough to put on a bra, with like the normal way that girls put on bras. But I can't really scratch the center of my back, which is, I still have to rely upon my back scratcher for that. But I can get it almost straight up, which is good. And they've already started me in on weight training. So I actually have to go to the gym now and start lifting weights. 1 pound weights is what they're starting me out on.
Yeah, gotta start slow though.
Yeah, because there's something they brought out the weights and they said, let's just see what you can do. And I was like, okay, I'll start with something small. And he hands me like this 1 pound weight, which is like a toilet paper roll, like half the size of a toilet paper roll. And I'm like, really? And he's like, yeah, just humor me and try it. So I tried it, and after he goes, okay, I want you to do 3 sets of 15. Let's do 1 set of 15 now. And I started to do it, and I'm like, this is no problem. I got up to about 6, and I'm like, okay, it's starting to burn. It's starting to burn a lot. 15. And he goes, yeah, 1 pound. You need to do this on 1 pound for a long time.
Have you tried the shake weight yet?
Oh, yeah. No, we had shake weights almost immediately. That's the thing that looks like a couple of skis that are attached to each other and you move it back and forth?
No, the thing that you...
Oh, that little thing. No, that's... Yeah, we had one of those at the office. The same principle, but essentially it's a great big... and they have different lengths of them, but it's like two or a ski that is got a handle in the center, and you push it back and forth and try and wiggle the ends. So it's not just building the strength, but it's also building the micro movements. That thing is when your arm is weak, it's a fucking hard thing to do.
Yeah.
So you got the little ones, and then you got the big one, the one that's like 6 feet tall, and that's so hard. So, but yeah. And I've got the world's hottest physical therapist. Oh my God.
Nice.
And he gets to massage me twice a week. It's awesome. We sit around and talk baseball. It's great.
All right.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, anything else we want to add before we shut this jalopy down for the week?
No, I can't think so. We covered everything. Now it's time to play the waiting game.
Yeah. Now comes a long wait. And I was saying on the regular show that, hey, guys, keep your eyes on our Facebook and on our Twitter, because if for some reason all of a sudden we go on Spreaker that is not Wednesday, it's because some big shit went down. And right now, anything could go down at any time. So we're kind of like your emergency gamer broadcast system. So be aware that when you see us go on, and if you look down at your watch and it's not Wednesday at noon Pacific, something big just happened. So we're there for you. That's our job. Just doing our job, sir. All right, so Jason Webb says, cool, you can salute Nick when he grows his Hitler mustache. Yeah, you know what? That's actually almost a motivation for me to get my arm better so I can do that. All right, gentlemen, ladies, in the room, out of the room, if you're listening remotely, thank you for listening remotely. If you've been in the chat room, thank you once again for being in the chat room. Andy, Jason, Tanya, Corey, anybody else that I missed, sorry, I can't remember them all, and I can't scroll back on the window, so you're just going to have to trust me that I appreciate you guys being here live. And thank you so much for listening if you are downloading either on iTunes or through Spreaker. But If you are going through iTunes, if you haven't signed up for our iTunes feed, please do get a subscription to iTunes. It's under Gamehound's Happy Endings. There is a second one if you are on us and you've never really listened to a regular show. There's a second one called Gamehounds. That's our regular podcast. Sign up for both. That's way you're not missing any of this awesome hotness that is the Gamehounds. In addition, if you do use iTunes and you have signed up for us, even if you haven't, please go onto the Gamehounds iTunes page, especially under Happy Endings, because we have no reviews right now. Just review us. Let us know what you think. It does two things. One, it lets us know what we can do to make this show better for you. But in addition, it also makes it easier for other people to find us, which is always awesome. The more we grow our audience, the better this will get. It actually, the more of you, the more you'll get of us, and the better you will get of us. You will get things like forums, and hopefully maybe one day actually we'll get paid to do this, because I'm tired of paying for it out of my own pocket. So please do us a favor, go review us. Nick, thank you. Goalie, thank you. And special guest Stormtrooper Ray, thank you for being on the show. I hope you're not. I hope you're not too disappointed for being, when Xbox One comes out.
Nah, I won't be.
No, I mean, I hope none of us is disappointed, but I really, really hope that Xbox does something different in the next.
I hope so. I would love to stay with Xbox. I
would
really
too.
would.
I don't want to leave.
On the controller, just the whole. I'm just used to it. I'm comfortable with it, and I know how it works.
It's hard changing horses midstream, and I don't want to do it either. But I just hope that Microsoft realizes that it's driving enough of us away that they want to start rethinking this whole thing.
I think they'll make some changes.
I hope so. And that's.
I don't.
Really? Oh, do we want to take bets? Bets, anyone? Wagers?
Sure. $10 says the only thing they change is a subsidized model.
Okay. Stormtrooper?
They're not changing any of their policies.
Ray?
Oh, no. I believe they're going to change and have to rethink the whole rental and locking it into people.
Okay.
Well, they've already said that rentals won't be available, quote, at launch.
At launch.
I'm sorry. I meant to say used.
Okay.
The whole used game, and
which is kind of the same.
Not lending it out. Not
Kinda.
Locking the game into your profile.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think
that's got to change. I can't see them surviving if that doesn't.
And goalie? Wagers?
Oh boy, I'm hoping Xbox can pull this out. I really am.
I know, but what's your wager?
What do you mean?
What do you think they'll do?
What do you think they'll do?
What are you betting? What would you bet money on them doing? Even if we don't actually bet money, what would you bet money on them doing?
One thing I think they're going to do is I think they're going to get rid of the 24-hour rule check-in. My friend at GameStop said that they might roll back that to like once a week to ping in and check for any updates. And so, I mean, somehow, some way, they have to allow you to play games if you can't connect to the internet. They have to allow that.
I could kind of see them doing that. They might, because that can't be that hard to change.
Yeah, it's just because he was talking about,
Yeah, it is.
You got to connect to the cloud to check this. So I guess the thing is,
EA Sports. That's why it's hard to change.
But it doesn't require constant connection.
If it's going to update every hour, yes, it does. Those player stats and those player techniques are updating every hour. EA has gone on record saying that, and that was a big seller. That was a big thing. They made a big deal about it. They are going to fuck EA because those things aren't going to be updated every hour. Yep. That's going to be a problem.
You still should be able to play your Madden or your NBA even if you can't update. It's just you just won't have the latest updated stats. But you should still be able to play a game.
Not being able to update won't break it.
Yeah, somehow, some way, they're going to have to change it so you will be able to play. You will be able to play any game except the obviously, if you're not on the internet, it just instead of getting the message saying, sorry, you can't play because you need to connect to the internet, somehow it'll give you the message that you have now, like saying, can't connect to the server to get the latest update, continue.
Yeah, maybe.
That's what they got to do.
My prediction, only because everybody else has taken any of the predictions that I think if they're going to change, that they will do. You know what? Here's my prediction. Because I predict they're going to make some kind of change. I believe your changes are more likely than mine, but I'm going to go on. They're going to reduce the price. But you've already said reduce the price.
Subsidize.
Yeah, you better. Okay.
Specifically.
So I'm going to say they change nothing between now and launch date. That it's exactly the way they say it's going to be. Nothing changes. Yep, and that's what Pist says, and that's what Jason Webb says. Jason Webb says they won't change. Actually, they will get rid of their customers. That's the change. Pist says it will update when you reconnect. It's that way now. Yeah, I'm going to say there's no change. It's exactly the way it is. They're going to stay the course, and I believe to their own peril, but they're going to stay the course. That they're no longer they've gotten over the backlog, the shock and awe of the entire internet turning to hate against them when the PS4 was announced, and they're looking at their pre-orders and seeing that their pre-orders are sold out and going, you know what? No matter what they said, they're pre-ordering. We're good.
Yeah, you might be right. They might be looking at that saying, "Hey, we're fine." Yep, there's a big, uproar, blah blah blah, but we're fine.
Sure, it looks like an iceberg. And it smells like an iceberg, but it's not an iceberg. That's what they're going to do.
Well, good to them. If they sold out of pre-orders, that's all they needed to do.
Maybe. Maybe. We'll see.
But they're not. They don't have my pre-order.
Right. Exactly. They have a lot of people that have both pre-orders.
Yeah.
Because they think they might change, and if they don't change, then they're going to cancel that first pre-order.
Yeah, the pre-orders aren't sales yet. Nobody's paid.
Exactly. Pre-orders are not pre-orders. It's a promise.
But I can get it back. But they've already charged me.
Right.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Yeah. No. Well, it depends. Did you go through GameStop?
Amazon.
Oh, yeah. Amazon doesn't charge until they release.
Okay. Cool.
Are you sure they've already charged you?
Yeah, they've already charged. Well, I put it on PayPal, and they already took it out of my PayPal.
Who'd you go through, Dave?
Best Buy.
Yeah, Best Buy does. But that's okay. It's still returnable, 100% returnable at this point.
Because actually, when I just told a story at the beginning of the show that I was going to pick it up, and then after talking to you guys, it's like, yeah, I'm not going to stand in line.
Yeah.
Even if I get it the day or two later, I'm not going to stand in line. I don't need it like the day it comes out. I just don't need that.
In fact, I think that's why Best Buy is the last one standing as far as all the pre-orders are concerned, probably because you have to pay the whole $425 or $450 up front.
Maybe that's why. Mm-hmm. But so I went online and they couldn't change it. I was telling you they couldn't change it to ship it to me, so I had to order another one and have them ship it, then go back and cancel the first one. Mm-hmm. And they had already charged my account.
Oh.
So, but I have now it's going to be delivered to me unless I cancel that. But they were really good about it. I got to say, on the phone with Best Buy.
Yeah, Best Buy's awesome about that. All right, well, gentlemen. Pissed says, stupid work. I missed the show. No, you didn't. You were here the whole time. Maybe another show. Oh, I pre-ordered from Amazon. Good for you. Did you? I hope you got the pre-order launch, because the pre-order standard is not the launch date. You're not going to get it launch date. So,
as long as you don't have to wait in line, I think any type of ordering.
You're so fucking lazy. My God.
Lines are just the worst.
The only thing that gets you out of the house is Taco Bell or Jack in the Box tacos.
That's not true.
And work.
Yeah. I got to pay for the tacos somehow.
Oh.
All right, gentlemen, ladies, and everything in between, thank you so much for listening to Game Helms. Don't forget to go onto iTunes and give us a like and or a hate, whatever, but let us know what you think. And we will talk to you next week, if not before. Thanks so much.